Today, I want to talk to you about the importance of always having a progression goal. You've got to have a progression goal. Now, I'm speaking to you if you are someone who right now you're feeling bored, you're feeling listless, you're feeling frustrated in your career. It feels like the same old, same old. If this is you, then always having a progression goal that you commit to is going to really change that for you, make you feel so much better, more enthusiastic and energetic about your work. I'm talking to you if you feel directionless in your career right now, that you're just on the hamster wheel. Again, it's the same thing every single day, and you don't really know where you're going and starting to question what it's all for. I'm talking to you if you are feeling really confused right now about where you want to go. So maybe you know that having a progression goal is valuable, and you have an idea of what that goal could look like, but you're still undecided. You're trying to decide between staying where you are, staying in the existing organization or firm that you're at, progression within that firm or organization to the next level, or leaving and going to another firm or another organization, or leaving the industry altogether. Like, you're just caught in this confusion over what your progression goal should be. You're in the right place if that's you. I'm also talking to you if you are someone who's sitting there and you're thinking, it's fine, in a couple of years, I'm going to be this much more qualified. And then when this happens, I'm going to be promoted to senior associate, and then it'll be counsel. And then, so you think about your career progression as something that's inevitable and also kind of out of your hands, something that you will arrive at incidentally, and you're not taking any control over it. You don't have any ownership over it, and you're not being intentional about driving towards that goal. If that's you, you're in the right place. Finally, I'm talking to you if it's just never occurred to you that progressing your career, having that as a regular goal and one that you always do, is something that should be part of your normal everyday career strategy. So if any of those are ringing bells, you are in the right place. Okay, so why it's a problem to never set goals or not have a progression goal on the go at all times? For me, there are four really key reasons. And the first one is the most important. Number one is you're not going to fulfill your potential if you're not setting goals. Goals are the very things that stretch us. And the whole point about unfulfilled potential is it requires us to grow, to stretch ourselves, to go into the unknown, to try new things, build different skills. And having a goal is exactly what helps to focus us around like focus our potential, right? Our efforts for realizing that potential. When we set a goal, it gives us a direction to go in. It gives us a reason to feel uncomfortable, right? So the idea of like fulfilling your potential, that's important, because knowing that you have more to give, that you're capable of more, but you're not fulfilling that, and you're not like challenging yourself to see what's possible, that can be really painful. I talk about the pain of unfulfilled potential because it feels like that. There's a knowing, an inner knowing inside you when you are being less than you are capable of. So this is a really good and serious reason for you to take on board this message today, that you always want to have a progression goal. And that way you will always be on this journey of fulfilling your potential, which is one of the most rewarding journeys you can be on as a human. And this is what we want. It matters. Life goes quickly, doesn't it? You work really, really hard. How quickly and how often are you thinking or aware of the fact that another 6 months have gone by, another year has gone by, and wondering like what's changed, what's different? Being on a quest to always be fulfilling your potential is the best antidote to that, and it's the greatest opportunity for living like the most fulfilling and a really rich and rewarding life. So I really care about this at a deeper level. I wanted to make that connection for you between like setting a progression goal, which seems very corporate and very work focused, but actually the connection between that and how much you enjoy and how much you get and squeeze out of the time we have on this planet, which is just so important, how much enjoyment you create for yourself while we're here. Okay, other reasons why not having a progression goal is is a problem. I don't want you to be in the situation where you don't have a progression goal. And here's why. I've already mentioned, I think, not being in the driving seat, right? So if you don't have a progression goal, then your career is something that just happens to you. We don't want that. We want you to be driving it, you to have ownership over it, so that it takes you where you want it to go. Also, without a goal, your progress is going to be so much slower. It's having the goal that forces us out of our comfort zone and gives our brain that focus, that direction, knowing what we need to do next, and helps us filter out all of the other stuff that could be taking us in 15 directions at the same time, and brings us to focus on actually moving forward. And then finally, if you don't have a goal, what I think you're doing is shortchanging yourself. I think you're settling for the way your life is right now. And what's possible is for your lawyer life to be better, more enjoyable, for you to get more out of it. In Be the First, the progression program for Black lawyers, we do a lot of work around just leveling up your lawyer life. In other words, improving your experience of working in this industry. That could mean working in a way that is you have better work-life balance, or working in a way that brings you, that's just with more ease and less stress. So many upgrades that you could be making to your life and your career just by willing to regularly set progression goals. I hope I've convinced you of the importance of always having a progression goal. Okay, so what's the answer then? If you're currently not setting progression goals regularly, then the answer is to just make it a rule that every 6 months you will set a new progression goal. And that progression goal will be 6 months down the line. It will be a 6-month goal. Here's the reason for that. That particular time frame is very deliberate. Number one, 6 months is just short enough to create momentum, to create a degree of urgency, the right amount of urgency that will keep you out of procrastination. If it was a year long, then I know for a fact that you would put things off. I know I would, right? So 6 months creates a sense of urgency. If it was much less than that, only 1 month, it's harder to measure the results, right? So I wouldn't recommend a goal that you set regularly, a goal every single month, unless it's like a stepping stone to your 6-month goal. 3 months, some of you come to me and say, oh, can't I just coach with you, Caroline, or join Be the First for 3 months? That's about how much time. And the thing with 3 months is, yes, you can progress and yes, you can have results, but the limitation for me is that it takes a little bit longer to create results that are sustainable. Or rather, the 6-month period allows you to be making progress, but be checking and doing, giving yourself enough time to make sustainable progress, not going all out really fast at the very beginning, getting all these results and then kind of burning out or feeling exhausted and giving up after a few months. We want sustainable, measured, steady progress, which is why 6 months is the sweet spot. So what I want you to do, literally as a result of listening to this episode, if it's on the podcast or watching this video, I want you to literally stop now and set yourself a 6-month goal. This is my recommendation. Here are some guidelines to help you do that. So I want you to do it now, even though it may not be like a kind of normal, like a logical 6-month moment. Meaning, for me, a logical moment for setting a 6-month goal would be like 31st of December, 1st of January. Then you set it for 6 months. Doesn't matter where you are when you hear this, just set it right now and set it for 6 months. But in addition, what I recommend is, just to make it easy for yourself to remember, you pick the 30th of June and the 31st, or if you want earlier on in December, you pick December, you pick June, and you just put them in your calendar as dates when you will always set your progression goal. Just put set progression goal in your calendar and have it on repeat, okay? That way you're building in the habit of setting goals and it just becomes something you automatically do. Another guideline I have for you, if you're not sure which goal, then I recommend you think beyond the promotion, right? It may be the promotion isn't what you want to go for right now. There are so many other ways for you to progress. Within Be the First, I talk about the 4 pillars of career progression. So I talk about having more recognition, having better balance, lawyering with more ease, having more confidence. Those are 4 pillars that will sustain you in your legal career. So you can pick any one of those areas and decide on or choose a goal and where you want to get to in those areas 6 months from now. So it doesn't have to be promotion. Another guideline is, if you're the one who's confused between lots of different options, just decide. Just decide on one of those options. And I would choose the option that creates the least disruption, that's most available for you. So that is most likely going to mean staying where you are and improving and growing where you are. And what happens is, in choosing an option, deciding on a goal, moving towards it, you will get more information along the way that's going to make that decision for where you want to be 6 months from now much clearer and easier to make. So get moving towards one goal in the easiest, smoothest way possible by changing as little as possible, and then review that progression goal as more information becomes available. And last but not least, join a program. Make yourself accountable. If you're a Black lawyer and you want to stay in this industry, join Be the First. Be part of this group in this community. We are regularly setting goals, regularly leveling up our lawyer life. And it's just so much more fun and rewarding. And you'll get there much more smoothly, quickly, and sustainably as part of a program, and especially with me as your coach to support you. So that's it from me in this episode. I hope you've just had a glimpse of and a flavor of enough of enough guidelines to really encourage you to set those progression goals on a regular basis every 6 months. And to help you get started with this, download the free progression audit that I've created. I use it in Be the First, and I'm making it available to you for free, where you can get started on nailing down this progression goal. So go to the link in the post or in the show notes and get that goal set up straight away. And at the end of that, you will see there's a link to my calendar where you can book in a strategy call if you're ready to start taking that goal forward. That's it from me for now. I will see you, or I'll speak to you next time. Bye for now.